We're here. We're thriving. Let me refresh YouTube.
Well, it's still like sending, but like we're live.
Heard.
We are live, period.
Period.
End of story.
What?
Please no.
Yep, we're live.
Cool.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
I'm just gonna adjust the settings so we don't get canceled on.
It's still like. Beautiful.
We'll go to the studio. Okay, you guys, we are here. Everything's all right now.
Hello.
Got 18 people watching thus far. How exciting.
Just need to pin this to the top of the page.
Oh, hello, Trinity. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Thanks for spending your Friday night with the quarantine series. Y'all ready for Cornball and Maria tonight?
All right. Yeah. Hello to everyone who is already with us. We've got 25 people in the YouTube right now. We're still stacking up people. We are holding house right now until 7:05. That's when we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you're with us right now, thank you so much for showing up on time and for being here with us. You can go ahead and get a snack, get some water. You got about 3 minutes until we get started with our presentation tonight. So thanks again for being with us. We're definitely going to drop some very corny, terrible jokes on you very soon to fill this time. I apologize preemptively because they're going to be terrible, but you asked for it. You're here. So
one person asked for it weeks ago, and now everyone has to suffer forever. It's great.
You get what you asked for in spades at the quarantine series.
So I guess I'll kick us off. I was gonna tell a joke about the quarantine, but it's kind of an inside joke. So,
boom! Credit to Jeana Magallon for that one.
Our head writer here at the quarantine series.
Oh man, that was a good one. That's probably the best one y'all are gonna hear tonight.
I should have saved it, actually.
Yeah, the fact that you started off with that one was like, there's nowhere for us to go now.
Okay, I have another one that then y'all can it'll be bad, so then y'all can talk me. A man walks into a bar. Ouch.
Okay.
And I knew that. I knew you were gonna say ouch, and I'm just sad now.
I'm not even angry. I'm severely disappointed.
What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot.
Not like that one, not gonna lie.
For anybody wondering why we're telling bad jokes, we are holding house. Welcome. Thank you for being with us. We've got 42 people on the YouTube right now. That's great. It's a great audience. We love having you. Thank you for being in our chat and being with us. We're going to get started at 7:05 in about a minute. So hold tight and get ready for another joke. Anybody else have one?
Mad says she's got a list of 100. Let's go.
Why did the Scarecrow get a promotion? He was outstanding in his field.
What is it called when you steal someone's coffee? Bugging.
No.
That's also a callback for our 10-minute play festival, which is also linked in our YouTube.
Yeah, if you're here, go ahead, especially after the show, go ahead and check out our YouTube channel and see things we've done.
Don't click on other videos now, but do it after.
We want you here right now.
here.
Yeah, and we're so glad 50 of you are here right now. It's a great audience. We're so excited.
And it's 7:05. You don't have to listen to us drone anymore.
Excellent.
Great. So Logan's gonna kind of introduce the series and everything.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Quarantine series. We are a Houston, Texas-based play reading series that offers new plays, a workshop process, rehearsals, and a directed public reading, all through virtual conferencing and live streaming. It's pretty awesome, right? Pretty cool. Tonight, we'll be presenting our first Short Play Friday. We've got 6 new short plays written by playwrights from across the country, a variety of voices and stories that I really hope will knock your socks off. I think it will. I really hope it does. At the end of the presentation tonight, I will be facilitating a talkback with all of the artists involved. So we'll be taking questions from you from the chat on our YouTube Live. So please make sure you're logged in and into the chat so you can talk to us. We love seeing your live reactions in the chat during the plays. And you know, in a theater, you can't really just go like, oh snap, whoa, she did not just pull out a knife. You can't do that in a theater, but here you can do that in our chat. So we love seeing that. And we really encourage you to ask questions in the chat in our YouTube Live chat. And stay tuned after the performance to have all your questions answered by the artists. And lastly, the Quarantine series is currently a donate if you can operation. And so we recognize that this pandemic is economically disastrous for a lot of people. So we're not asking for any payment whatsoever. However, if you have the means and you feel moved to donate, our Venmo is at the Quarantine series, and our Cash App is also $ the Quarantine series. So if you'd like to donate, please send all funds that way. All of the funds that are collected will be evenly distributed among the artists within the company for this presentation tonight. And if you don't have the means to donate, you can still support us at the Quarantine series by following our pages on Facebook, the Quarantine series, and on Instagram, the Quarantine series HTX. Share, like, and comment with your feedback on our posts if you'd like to show your support. And you can also leave us really valuable feedback by leaving a review on our Facebook page or by filling out our survey that we're going to drop in the YouTube chat right now. If you just click on that link, it'll take you to a survey. We love to get your feedback for anything we can do better or things you love. We love to hear all that stuff. So now, without any further ado, I'll be throwing it over to Anna Maria, who will be reading all of our stage directions tonight. So thank you so much for being with us. And I hope that you enjoy our first Short Play Friday.
Alrighty, thank you so much, everyone. First up, we have Consanguinity by Logan Butcher, directed by Khaerisman. Ron will be played by Trevor Poli, and Tommy will be played by Scott Searles. A Texas-themed steakhouse. Tommy and Ron sit at a table for 2, mostly eaten dinner plates in front of them. Ron is drinking a glass of water. Tommy has a bottle of beer. A minimal rendition of one of those boxes with a screen where you can swipe your card to pay yourself is at one end of the table.
She's just so skinny.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot worse over the past, couple of months.
It's like skin and bones. She sounded, I don't know, weaker? When I talked with her on the phone, like a faint weakness. But to see her like that.
It's hard seeing her deteriorate every day. The worse it got, the more aggressive the treatment, the more I cashed in my Bitcoin to pay for it. Now she's, I don't know.
It's awful.
She's on her last legs. You can just tell, just by looking and talking with her.
It's horrible to see her like that. Like, it's our mom. Yeah, I'm glad, though, that I'm here to see her now.
Yeah, it's good that you're here. She really wanted to see you, for you to be down here with us.
Well, I'm glad I'm back to see her and to, catch up with you.
Huh. Yeah, I'm glad too that she asked us to do this for her.
uh, should we take this picture from Mom now? Or since we're done?
Oh, no, not yet. After we pay, maybe. You know, after Mom passes, I've decided I'm going to make something of myself.
Oh, yeah? Well, that's great.
I want to be like Bill Gates.
Huh.
Well, I want to start like a mega successful company and be like an international billionaire philanthropist and eradicate diseases and stuff.
Well, that's a goal. A lofty goal.
Yeah, I think it's a good goal. I could be like Bill Gates for sure. Did you want to pay?
Well, I don't think.
No. Yeah, I figured. I'll pay. It's cool. Cool. Maybe you could get the tip if you have cash.
I mean, I would, but I don't carry cash on me. I'm not like a waiter.
Oh, the almighty Tommy working a retail job. That's all right, man. I guess I've got this meal for us. I got it. And look, I'm going to give our waitress a hella tip. Look at that. There's proof that I'm a very generous person, just like Bill Gates.
Generous?
Yeah. God, he's so dope.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely not an example of the problematic, unaccountable, mega wealthy hiding behind disingenuous altruism. No, he's dope.
Yeah. One day I'm gonna lead a whole ass tech company and it's gonna be so badass.
Yeah.
It's it's a shame that Mom isn't gonna be around to watch me command my mega company. I can't stop thinking about that.
Yeah. That is a shame, man. I'm gonna miss her. Uh, I'm glad we finally got to see each other. After all the time,
Yeah, it's been a while. Years.
Should we take this picture from Mom now?
No, I don't think so yet. No, I haven't swiped my card.
What?
I didn't say anything.
It sounded like you said something.
Yeah, I chuckled. I didn't say anything.
What were you chuckling about then? I mean, you chuckled.
I have to tell you everything that's going on in my head? Frick off, Tommy. Get off my back, man.
Whoa.
Maybe you would, maybe you know what I was chuckling about if you actually tried to talk to me instead of looking at your dumbass iPhone constantly, I think.
Touche. steak was all right. Pretty good cut of meat. Really nice marbling for this kind of place. That was a good medium rare. Thanks for looking out, steak cooking guy.
Oh, yeah?
For sure. And the yams? Oh my God. Man, this is the only place that does yams perfectly, with the melted marshmallows on top, just barely burnt for that slight crunchy texture. Oh my Lord. Too good.
You always love those yams.
What can I say? I will do heinous things for crunchy marshmallows on my toasted yams.
You used to eat the shit out of those yams when you were like 6 years old. You would throw a tantrum for yams. So we came here like 4 times a week for a while. That's probably why you like the yams so much.
Hey man, you can't blame me. These yams are addictive.
No, yeah. You've always known how to get what you want from our parents, I guess. The chicken tenders here are lovely and thick. Seriously, they're like Raising Cane's quality tendies, super high quality. And they're dinosaur shaped, which is, quite novel. I enjoy them.
Yeah, and honestly, that is an impressive amount of food for a kid's meal. Even comes with macaroni.
Even comes with macaroni. As Mom would say, it's a deal and a half.
And a half. She used to say that all the time.
She still does.
God, I'm gonna miss her.
Me too, dude. So much.
Well,
You're keeping up with your politics?
A little.
Article about some tax cuts, even at a time of historic wealth inequality, politicians in this country continue to help the rich get richer. Behavior is both poisonous and inherent to capitalism as an economic system.
and it lays out how the existence of billionaires is inherently immoral, how owning that much wealth as one individual is insanely problematic. It's, some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, sounds super interesting.
I think that this could really be a big breakthrough for my career. Once I get this article out there, people will really see what I'm all about, how deep I go with my research, how dedicated I am to the process.
Yeah, but what you're maybe not thinking about is how, if you think about it, when you make the rich richer, then there's more wealth to trickle down, But I think rich people probably know what they're doing. That's how they got rich, I think. Then they can do good things with the money, so that's probably good, right?
I don't think we should get into all of that right now.
Just think about it.
Will do.
Oh, dude, I was on the forums the other day, and I read this big post about Warcraft 4. It was a conspiracy that Blizzard was designing Warcraft 4 secretly while working on their other games. I don't know. I just spent all day thinking about the possibilities of Warcraft 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be insane. We could play some of those mini games together again, like we did with Warcraft 3.
Yeah, I mean, Warcraft 4. Like they learned so much from StarCraft and StarCraft's Brood War, and it totally showed because Warcraft 3 was so badass. You could tell it was because they applied what they learned, and it was the culmination of all the masterful game design.
Yeah, Warcraft 3 was badass. I'm glad you showed me that game. I could play those dumbass tower defense mini games you told me about all fucking day in 6th grade.
Custom games. They were custom games, not mini games. Sorry, but they were cool. I just only played ranked games. But it was a lot of fun playing those custom games with you. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Those are some great memories, dude.
Good times. I mean, but like Warcraft 4. Like, could you imagine with all of the lore and from World of Warcraft? Oh my God.
It sounds really intense.
Yeah, this forum post has been the highlight of my week, my month, really. You have no idea. It's amazing.
Can we?
I still haven't swiped.
We'll pay then, so we can.
No. I don't think we're there yet.
Okay. Oh, man. I don't think I ever told you about.
Did you know I started working
Christian Fellowship Organization while I was at USC?
No.
Yeah, it's actually one of the things that makes me feel better about the debt I'm under. The real tangible good that I was able to do in the Lord's name while I was at school.
Wow.
Yeah, for some reason, people around academia believe that being intellectual and being religious are mutually exclusive. That being a Christian means that I don't believe in science or like climate change. I mean, there are giant mosquitoes swarming around Texas, for Christ's sake. And the 100-year floods every 5 years? It's already code red with the climate change. God.
Oh, yeah.
By using those few years to hold meetings at USC and to travel to other schools to discuss making Christianity accessible for college students. I was able to really make a difference in the lives of some amazing and faithful people. And I'll never forget that.
Actually, I'm an atheist now.
What?
Yeah, I don't believe in God anymore.
But I mean, church with Granny every Sunday? Did you forget?
You always like going, but I actually hated it. Hated going there with all those happy people. Come on, you're not that happy people. Just stop it. Stop singing. I thought God was real for a long time. I kind of hated it, but I believed it. But this summer, I found this guy named Christopher Hitchens on YouTube, and he died recently. Throat cancer. It's ironic, really ironic, but he was ultra smart as hell. Kind of like Bill Gates a little. Actually, he was kind of like the Bill Gates of atheism. That's probably the best way to describe him, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so I watched like at least 80 hours of Christopher Hitchens debate videos, and now I'm an atheist. I might actually be anti-theist. But I don't know. I think for now I want to take it easy and just stick to solidly atheist, you know?
Anti-theist? What the hell is that?
It's like,
Like you hate religious people?
no, it's just, I think organized religion is like a poisonous practice and just bad for humanity in general.
Wow, that's just so awful and so much to unpack.
It's just logical.
Hey, you know what? How about we just cut our losses and get the fuck out of here, all right?
What? I don't think.
Yeah, you know, we've sat here with these empty dishes for like half an hour shooting the shit, and we really tried today, man. We did. We sat here, we tried, but we just don't click. We're ready to pay. We came, we saw, we did the thing, and it was really good to see you. So how about we pay the bill, plaster a couple fucking fake smiles on our dumb faces, and snap this selfie from Mom so she can think her boys like each other before she passes. And then we can get on with our days.
No. No, I'm not going to lie. Be disingenuous about.
Disingenuous?
Oh, okay, I'm not going to be disingenuous about this picture. Whole happy brotherhood thing. I'm not going to lie to our dying mother, Tommy.
What do you mean lie to her? Just take the happy picture with your fucking brother, dude. That's what she wants.
I actually, I don't think I want to. Tommy, I don't like you. I don't think you're really a good person. You've always been a total asshole to me throughout my life, and I don't really know if I want anything to do with you, especially after Mom dies.
Wow. I mean, holy shit. What the hell, Ron? What do you mean? You're going to, what, cut me out forever? What happened to blood being thicker than water? I'm your brother.
I mean, you're my half brother.
Right. Okay, that's it. You know, it's not my fault your dad doesn't give a shit about you, Ron. God. No, wait. I'm sorry. You know, that's not what I...
You know what? Fuck off, Tommy. Oh my God, you were such an asshole, dude.
Don't say that. Don't say, oh my God. What do you think happens to Mom after she dies, dude? What do you think? She just goes into a hole in the ground and that's it? There's no spirit?
Yeah. Yep.
That's just, that's awful. I can't.
An afterlife, dude? It doesn't really seem reasonable to me. Like, you die. You die. We're like primates. We're apes. We die.
I know Mom will look down on me from heaven. I know that. To think she's just disappearing forever.
Yes, Tommy. When she's dead. That's why I actually stayed home to help her through her sickness while you went off to a big college. There isn't anything after this. After this, it's over. She won't.
Like, she was away to college. She got cancer while I was in school, you dick.
You didn't come home.
I really don't give a shit what you've been listening to on YouTube. You just need to stop that. To think that Mom is just going to rot away and she won't be looking down on us. What a sad.
What a just miserable thought. Why would you say something like that?
Really? Living with you made me want to kill myself.
right?
Yeah, really, all the time.
Well, that's not my fault.
Mom was the only reason I didn't. She was my only. Being compared to you throughout school by your dad, though, oh, Tommy's such a gifted athlete. He's the best t-ball player on his team. Ron, he still throws like a girl.
It's not my fault that I was successful in school and that you were a fucking hermit, a late bloomer, I don't know.
Oh, Tommy has so many friends. He's so social. And look at him, he's so social with the girls. He's nothing like Ron. I'm gonna take Tommy to baseball practice and watch him play baseball. Fuck Ron! I don't respect his esports competitions because he's my stepson.
Well, it's not my fucking fault that my dad was in my life and your dad was an absent asshole.
And how you treated me, man. You acted like I was this dark shadow that you had to avoid. You always took any chance to make fun of me, my long hair, my acne.
I was a teenager. That's just how brothers are when they're young.
You nicknamed me Dipshit Ronnie, man. Our cousins still call me that to this day, jokingly, but it's awful.
It was just a joke, man. It was all in good fun.
That shit was not fun for me, man. Ever. You always were the golden child, and I was pushed to the side.
Well, you're delusional, dude. And even if it's true, that's not my fault, man.
Well, guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter, because now the tables are turned. I am a self-made millionaire, Tommy, and you're drowning in student debts. Oh no, the golden child's drowning.
Well, shut the fuck up, you hermit motherfucker.
Because he's so smart. He's supposed to go out of state to this big university and be a big-time writer to prove just how smart he is.
Sorry that I have a dream, a passion that
Well, how fucking smart do you feel now? Huh? You're crippled with debt. So crippled that you'll never be able to climb your way out. And you managed to completely ostracize the one person, the one single person who could actually help you. But no, you were insufferable towards me. You know, I don't think you deserve any help. Not from me, especially. Just because you're my blood? You think I'm gonna help you just because we came out of the same orifice? What does that mean to me? Fuck blood connections, Tommy. It doesn't mean shit to me. Not anything. Not when you've always treated me like I'm a piece of shit. It doesn't mean shit to me. And my God, you are hopeless. You don't even have a job in your industry. You're a year out of school and you don't even have a job that can support you. That is just so pathetic. You know, you are just like your dad. You're all charismatic and eloquent, but destined for failure. Death and failure. Are you crying? Don't cry.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you. You think you're a genius or some shit because you sat on your lazy ass and played StarCraft all day, every day after a once-in-a-lifetime investment boom? Just like your dad, a dumb, lazy asshole. You think I give a fuck about your stupid fucking Bitcoin? You fucking order kids' meals, you dumb neckbeard motherfucker. I just wanted to be a successful writer. So bad. But you're right. I'm a fucking failure. And you're
Man, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. Listen, I'm fucking sorry. I never really made a concerted effort to think about it, but I guess I was fucked up towards you when we were growing up. And I didn't realize it. I'm sorry for always ostracizing you and treating you like you're an idiot.
And for calling me dipshit Ronnie.
And for calling you dipshit Ronnie.
Just not appropriate.
But I'm not perfect, man. I'm not. And my behavior, it was ridiculous and hurtful. I'm sorry. But really, you have to stop resenting me because my dad has been in my life. But blood is thicker than water, dude. It has to be. And I'm sorry, and I know that the situation is rough, but it's not my fault that your dad has never been around. It sucks. But the past is in the past. It really sucks for you, though. And I'm sorry about that.
Thanks. It really does suck.
At least we both had Mom to lean on, right?
Right. I'm sorry too. For what I said. You're really smart. Intelligent. I think you're going to be a really successful writer, for what it's worth.
Oh. Thanks, Ron. You know, I've always kind of looked up to you, actually, in a way.
What?
Yeah, man. In a way, at least. I mean, you're my older brother, dude. I learned from you. And I love you.
Oh. Cool. Nice. I love you too.
Ron swipes his card.
Let's take this picture now. Come on.
Yeah. All right. For Mom.
Blackout. End of play. That was Consanguinity by Logan Butcher, directed by Khaerisman. Ron was played by Trevor Poli, and that was Scott Searles as Tommy. Now we got our first play in the bag. I just want to thank everybody for engaging in the chat. It's been so wonderful to see all your feedback. I definitely want to encourage all of you to continue sending that love. As Logan touched on previously, obviously, our actors cannot receive immediate feedback via applause or laughter or gasps or any of that. So repeat lines you like. Shout out the directors, the playwrights, the actors for things that you noticed that really resonated with you. And yeah, it's just really great for artists to go back and see all that love. Now, up next is The Whole Shaker of Salt by Charles Hertz, directed by Khaerisman. The Barmaid will be played by Brittney Jones, and the Patron is played by Scott Searles. Setting: city downtown business district, just inside a small street side watering hole at the bar. Time: late spring crystalline day, midweek a work day, mid-afternoon. Patron nurses a pint at the bar. He's the only customer in sight. It's early enough that whatever lunch crowd might have been there is long back to their cubicles, and whatever after-work business might materialize has not yet appeared. Barmaid sets up her workspace as if she'll eventually be busy, but the place frankly looks pretty sleepy. What it does have going for it is the suggestion of a fine windowed wall space, and that provides a splendid suggested view just off screen and unseen to the audience of the bustling business district outside. Patron nods in deference to Barmaid's seemingly unceasing activity.
Already I feel I should tip you again, just because you're working so hard back there.
I'd encourage your impulse.
Barmaid reaches for a bucket and fills an ice drawer behind the bar.
Encourage your impulse, except that's clearly just a line, so maybe not.
No, it's not a line. For real.
Well then, hey, you gotta do what you think is right. Just don't ask my account number for direct deposit.
And I mean it. A weeknight, off peak, no one here yet? Slow down. Don't strain yourself. I hope they appreciate you here.
Oh yeah, appreciation I get in spades. My shot glass overflows with genuine appreciation. Thank God, right? Because I can pay my bills with it.
Look, I hear you. Same with me across the street there, where I work. I mean, I'm the entryest level tech they've got. And it's like, they scrape together the leavings for us.
Then we're both poor and neglected, aren't we? Imagine, and here I thought you came over just to trickle down some of your options cash onto the service sector.
Yeah, maybe not. Call center support would seem to be the compensation ghetto of the internet business. At least you get tips.
She tosses a handful of flatware clatteringly into a bus tray.
Oh, not that. I know. Not that you or anybody else can get by on tips.
You're just saying what exactly? That we're about the same age, so we're in the same boat? Here, let me refill your overpriced craft brewed, small batched, organically hopped IPA for you.
Okay. I get that maybe you deal with a lot of jerks. I don't happen to be one of them. But I guess you're under no obligation to learn that. Whatever works.
Yeah, well, don't take anything I say here too personally.
Well, I'm trying my best.
Maybe take me with a grain of salt.
Just a grain? Or will I need the whole shaker?
I mean, sometimes my armor's got to go on as soon as I clock in, and then it's pretty much one speed, one volume for my whole shift, you know?
I actually do know, which is kind of what I was telling you about my gig in call center purgatory over there, whether you buy it or not.
I guess I can believe it if I strain a little. Don't you worry, there's plenty of room for you down here with the rest of us.
Well, now, over there, on the other hand, walks a man who will not be joining our rung of the ladder anytime soon, or ever.
Don't be so sure. We don't know what we don't know.
Oh, I know, because I know him. He was down in our phone support pit just this morning, scrawling his indecipherable mandates on the whiteboard.
We've all got a big boss, man. One's the same as any other, as long as their check's clear. Hey, at least your suit comes into your space and acknowledges your existence.
Well, my suit over there. Look at him. Yeah. Here he goes, like clockwork. Every day the same. Watch. He'll pace the block there now on that phone call for quite a while. My suit, that guy right over there, he's worth $1.5 billion.
Shut up.
With a B.
Yeah, right.
As in 10 figures.
You're cut off. No more drinkies for you.
As in 3 commas.
Which is why he's prowling the sidewalk on a phone call rather than easing back into the buttery leather of some limo.
Well, this is so routine for him. I could set my wristwatch by it. Except I haven't worn a wristwatch since the dawn of smartphones.
So somebody must have him on a short leash with that call.
Don't know the circumstances, just a regularity. I've seen Mr. C-Suite do his early evening call right there, right then, every single workday that I've ever remembered to look.
Some variation of OCD?
I gotta call my broker.
Right now, from out on the sidewalk, nothing else will do.
I sell.
Bye.
It's too funny, eh? Regular salt of the earth, billionaire who takes his calls out in the street just like everybody else. But like you said, we don't know what we don't know, eh? Maybe it's his mom on the phone.
That must be it. I think you may have pegged it. You seem to know enough about him to get that right, too. Mommy on the line.
Yeah, but still, for someone on the Forbes list, he blends pretty damn well. Just look for yourself. He could be anyone, right?
Anyone at all?
Right. But yeah, I've paid attention. He's readable. Tyrannical a little when he's arrayed about who knows what.
Does he mistreat your poor minions, your tyrant?
Nothing I can't deal with. Learning to manage up. That's what you and I have to do, right?
Oh, is that what we have to do?
In essence, among other things.
She slides him another beer, even though he's not finished with his first.
Actually, I just stopped in for just one quick.
This one's on me. Our secret. The tyrannical ones here around my place aren't coming in tonight for a while yet. So, you've managed up Mr. Billionaire over there? You got him all figured out?
Well, not totally, no. I'd be the last to say that. I'd be a liar, frankly, to say that. A worker bee's job is never done. You know that.
What else did you notice about him that he does stupidly? I mean, to the extent a billionaire can do anything stupid, right?
I know. That kind of stupid, maybe we could all use some of.
But you said he's like clockwork about stuff. Like how? Like what? Like when?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
I think I would. Yeah, I'd like to know. Nothing crazy or anything, just whatever it is you know. I mean, think of it. You rub shoulders every day with a billionaire.
Well, I don't know about rub shoulders with. I just work.
With a B. I mean, come on. How unusual is that? Not many of us can say that.
I guess.
Exciting, you know? Just to talk about it with you here is exciting for me. Isn't it for you too?
I don't know. I'm maybe kind of over it. Old hat by now for me, as you can imagine.
It's still new to me, and I want to hear about this guy. I want you to tell me. You know stuff about him, don't you? Tell it to me, what he does, where he goes, when, and with who.
Well, I don't really, need to care or pay attention that much. to those kind of details.
You said you do. You said you had him wired.
I never said that. I never meant to.
Clockwork, you said. 1.5 billion. You said readable. You said. I heard you. You captured my attention with it. You captured my imagination.
She takes his still not quite empty beer glass from his hand. He gives it up. She sets it aside so there's nothing in between them.
And I think you're gonna like my imagination, I think. But you've got to tell me what I want to know.
He steps back from his bar stool, pats his pockets, reaches for some cash.
Listen, I should just go. I don't want to give the impression that.
What? That you jeopardize the personal safety and well-being of your employer?
What? I would not.
That with no more than a pint of beer in you, you tell a perfect stranger the immense net worth and personal habits of someone who pays your very salary.
Hey now.
Just ingratiate yourself with your barmaid. You'd hang a target on the back of a guy whose company provides a livelihood for what? Hundreds of wage earners? Thousands?
Look, never mind. I didn't mean to piss you off. I don't know what I even did. I'll just leave and be on my...
Oh yeah, by all means, leave. I think you've done quite enough here this afternoon. Stop by anytime. I'm here a lot. I pick up all the shifts I can get.
This industry you're in is called hospitality. What would your handlers think if I told them how inhospitable you treated me? How many shifts would you be able to pick up then? That's the thing, eh? I know where you work.
Barmaid pours herself a glass of seltzer and waves him away like an annoying gnat. Patron gives it up and turns to leave.
I know where you work too. And I know who you work for. Actually, he comes in here every now and then, your billionaire bossy man. I guess somehow you must have missed that part of his routine, huh? Always orders white wine. Just one glass. Pays cash. Tips reasonably. Chit-chats with me about whatever. Seems like a nice person. Above board, straight shooter. Ethical.
Deftly glaring at Patron, the barmaid squeezes a lime wedge into her seltzer. She drops it in. Blackout. End of play. Give it up for our actors, playwright, and director. That was The Whole Shaker of Salt by Charles Hertz, directed by Khaerisman. The barmaid was Brittney Jones, and our patron was Scott Searles. Thank y'all so much for continuing to show that love in the chat. You are an amazing audience, and we are so grateful for you sticking with us and being so supportive. I just want to take this time to briefly touch back on our recent evolution into the donate if you can model. Obviously, the quarantine series is big on being able to treat our artists well, compensate them fairly. Fortunately, right now, it's a pandemic. Everybody's struggling. It's a little chaotic right now. But if you have a couple bucks to send their way, please shoot it on over to our Venmo, just at the Quarantine Series, or our Cash App, $ the Quarantine Series. And if you can't, don't even stress. Don't even concern yourselves with it. Just follow us on Instagram, the Quarantine Series HTX. Follow us on Facebook, the Quarantine Series. Check out our website, thequarantineseries.org. And that's all we need. That's all we need. We're in a wonderful place. We have a wonderful community, and we have so much love for y'all. Now, up next, we have Where Weeds Grow by Patrina Randolph, directed by Anna Maria. Gardener is played by Denise Marin, and the runner is played by Brittney Jones. Setting: In a field somewhere in time, the gardener is seated in the field of flowers along a roadside. The gardener is taking in the beauty basking in the sunlight. The runner enters, jogging cautiously on the road, checking their tennis shoes.
I haven't been here for a while.
I know.
Are you searching for me?
No.
No?
No. You had to stop. I've waited patiently.
Oh, you've waited patiently?
Yes. I knew you would have to pass this way again.
While I was running, I stumbled on the path. I had no intention of coming this way again. It's too long.
Too long? What do you mean?
Nothing. Actually, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been here.
Why is that?
I was afraid.
That's odd. You afraid?
Yes, me afraid.
Afraid of what? Are you going to tell me what you were afraid of?
Of you. There, I said it. I was afraid of you.
Afraid of me?
Yes.
Unimaginable. Me frightening? I'm rather gentle in most instances. Gentle as the cool-headed breeze.
See, this is exactly why I didn't want to come here. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Who said I don't believe you? Who said I didn't believe you? I merely was just...
Look how you're acting. You asked me why I hadn't been here. I tell you, then you question my reasoning. Clearly, I think for myself, you know. Your judgment is not welcome. Unnecessary, really unnecessary judgment. I feared you would be upset.
Who said I'm upset? Did I say that?
You don't have to say it. Look at your body language. The tension when you speak is tangible and quite unbearable.
Interesting, I hadn't noticed.
I do. I'm observant, you know.
Oh, you're observant.
You're damn right I'm observant. I see everything.
Is that really why you were afraid to come here? Because you were fearful of me?
Who said I was afraid?
You said you were afraid.
I did not.
Just a moment ago, you said you were afraid of me.
I did not say that. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. I'm not the only one afraid of you.
Everyone speaks for themselves.
Okay, so what if I did say it?
Those are your words, not mine.
Well, if those are my words, I mean them.
Those are your words. And yes, I know you mean them.
Good, I'm glad you know.
Anyway, I'm glad you came. Grateful you decided to make a turn on the path.
Why?
I missed you.
You missed me?
I sure did. I love having you around.
You do?
Yep. You make me laugh. I laugh so hard.
That felt so good. I enjoyed that. I'm so glad I came.
You're glad you came here?
I am. I am. How refreshing.
You shouldn't stay away.
I shouldn't. I really forgot why I used to like coming here so much.
Sometimes we forget. Sometimes it's hard to remember the why. We want to remember, to hold on, but things get in the way. Things get in the way and what you want seems too far away. You start out putting one foot in front of the other, then before you know it, you're running and you don't know what you're running for.
Was I running?
Were you?
Maybe I was just going for a brisk walk.
That was one long, brisk walk.
I like walking briskly.
You should slow down.
I can't.
Why not?
I'm afraid.
Afraid? Afraid of what?
If I stay in one place too long, the weeds will grow. And I don't want the weeds growing underneath my feet.
Don't be afraid of the weeds. Weeds can be plucked. Sometimes I pluck them one by one. Sometimes I pull them out by the handful.
What if the weeds take over everything? Can't they choke out everything?
Yes. When you don't know how to handle them, they can choke out everything.
Exactly. That's why I must keep running.
The weeds yet grow while you run.
I've never noticed any weeds under my feet while I'm running.
I know.
You know?
Yep. Those weeds can be some nasty little things, but I think you like the weeds.
I don't like the weeds.
You don't like the weeds.
No one likes weeds. Flowers are most appealing. Beautiful flowers. Roses, buttercups, chrysanthemums, irises, primrose, hibiscus, geraniums, daffodils, hydrangeas, lilacs, gladioli, marigolds, bluebonnets,
Daisies, orchids, lilies, jasmine and lavender, azaleas, magnolias, gardenias, petunias, lilac, pansies, begonias, and forget-me-nots. They are so colorful. But the weeds are important.
Weeds are ugly.
Comeliness and unseemliness are reflections, both equally important.
Weeds aren't important. That's why you pluck them up one by one or by the handful.
No, I pluck them up one by one or by the handful because of their importance. Where there are no weeds, there is nothing of value.
Crazy. That's insane.
Weeds are crazy. They are a part of life. You won't appreciate the beauty of the flowers if you've never embraced the weeds.
I don't want the weeds. I only want the flowers.
You don't have to keep them, but they must grow. It's up to you how you get rid of them, one by one or a bunch at once. They can only choke out the beauty if you ignore them.
I'm not plucking up weeds. That takes too much time.
That rests on how you pluck them. But you're too occupied with running, right?
That's right. Got a nice pair of running shoes too. I'm busy running.
What are you running from?
From you.
But we were just laughing. You said you liked it, said you miss it. Are you sure you are running from me?
Hell if I know. I'm just running.
Walking briskly.
Yes. Taking a brisk walk.
Do you want company? I'll go with you.
No. You stay here. You might slow me down.
You should slow down.
I can't slow down. I told you the weeds will grow beneath my feet.
Don't you see the weeds are growing anyway? You're entangled in the weeds because you won't stop. The weeds are consuming you. They are taking over you. Your thoughts are on the weeds night and day. You're living to run from the weeds. You don't stop to smell the flowers because of the weeds. The flowers are there for you to caress, smell, behold. Your flowers are dying while you run from the weeds. Stay. Bask in the beauty of the flowers and pluck the weeds. Let the flowers grow and pull the weeds up by the handful. Embrace the flowers. Pull the damn weeds. Stay. You're tired.
I'm not tired. I could run all night. Have you seen me run?
Yes.
Isn't it beautiful?
No, it's not becoming. Most useless thing I ever seen is you running. You run too much.
Don't look. You don't have to watch me run. Close your eyes. Don't watch me run. I've been running all my life. I'm faster than the weeds that could possibly try to grow beneath my feet.
No, you're not fast enough. You're scared.
I'm not scared of anything.
I see your weeds. Your weeds scare you.
Those aren't mine. They're yours. You're the one who put the weeds there.
They were allowed.
Why are they allowed?
To uncover the beauty in what's uncomely. For discovering strengths in weaknesses. To exercise love and paralyze fear. For growth. Not running.
This is exhausting.
Here, let me explain. Long ago, there was a man who planted seeds in his field. When his crops grew, the weeds grew with it. His field hands were confused. They wanted to know if he planted the weeds with the good seeds.
Well, did he?
No. One of his enemies had planted the weeds when his field hands went to sleep.
Hmm.
The field hands wanted to go out and rip the weeds up immediately.
Did they?
No. He told them that if they rushed in to rip the weeds up, they would ruin the harvest.
I see.
He was wise enough to know that when he harvested the crops, he could separate the weeds from it. So that's exactly what he did. He harvested everything at once, separating the good from the bad.
What a brilliant idea.
At the right time. He bundled all the weeds together and burned them. Then he was able to store all the good crops and enjoy the fruit of his labor. Would you like to stay for a while? You no longer have to be a slave to fear. Stay. Enjoy the benefits of your work.
No, I really must be going. I don't want the weeds growing beneath my feet.
It's blooming season. The sweet aroma alone is reason enough to stay and rest.
No, resting would be a complete waste of my time.
It's a shame to see you go. I sure hate to see that, but if you must.
I must. So long.
So long.
The runner trots away. The gardener basks in the beauty of the field. It is now sunset. Lights fade out. That was Where Weeds Grow by Patrina Randolph, directed by Anna Maria, and the gardener was played by Denise Marin, and the runner was played by Brittney Jones. So, thank you so much for continuing to love on these powerful women that brought this play to life. Continue pouring in those reactions, those thoughts, those feelings. Real quick, I want to plug our talk back one more time that is happening directly after the 6th show. We're halfway through our set list as of now, but after we're done, we're all gonna congregate, a little virtual round table. You know, we can't meet in person, so like, why not have a little Zoom meetup, and we all talk about art for a little bit. Continue dropping any questions you may have in the chat. There will be a dedicated time for questions, but if they occur to you as we're performing, throw them in there. Just sprinkle them in a little bit. We'll be keeping track of those and answering any of those questions. We'll be offering a little bit of perspective about our experiences on this project. And yeah, thank y'all so much for being a wonderful audience. Up next, we have Buttercup's Lament by Julie Weinberg, directed by Jeana Magallon. Buttercup is played by Michael Sifuentes, Peanut is played by Trevor Poli, and the cat's mother is played by Chanel Gomaa. Sounds of yelling and a loud meow.
Meow!
A large ginger tabby cat, Buttercup, runs into a small bedroom and hurls himself awkwardly onto the bed. He is followed by a 30-something woman.
No! Oh my God! How many times do I have to tell you not to eat that plant? Are you chewing? Spit it out, now! What am I going to do with you? You're going to make yourself sick, and then you're going to need to go to the vet. The vet. Do you want that? Believe me, we don't want that.
Cell phone rings in another room. She exits.
It's not fair.
A smaller cat, Peanut, a brown and white part Siamese with a grumpy cat face, pokes his head out from under the bed.
Please stop talking.
I'm losing my mind.
I beg you, I am so tired. Just let me sleep.
You're sleeping like all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Can you just give me 5 minutes? 5.
Afraid not. Schedule's packed. Gotta go.
Where are you gonna go?
I'm going back to sleep.
Oh, please. Oh, come on, P-Buddy. I need to talk to you.
All right already, so talk.
She won't leave the apartment.
So?
There are things that I need to do. In private.
Well, like what?
I need to eat that plant next to the noisy thing she watches.
Called a television?
Whatever, genius.
So go eat it and leave me alone. I have to sleep.
No, it's impossible. She's glued to that noisy thing, and she's so mad.
Yeah, I noticed there's a big fat guy with the ugly orange fur who's on there talking all the time now. You know, he looks like he could be your father.
She hates him. He can't be my father.
Boys, I have dinner for you.
I'm on strike. Not gonna eat that food.
No, me either.
I hate that dry stuff. What happened to little Frisky's gourmet turkey and giblets?
Yeah, she needs to go shopping. Why won't she go out?
I don't know, but you're right, it's a little weird. Be tomorrow.
And when's that?
Well, it'll get light again. Then she'll give us some food and some treats, and then maybe she'll go to work. Okay? Problem solved. Go back to bed.
I need to eat that plant. I need it now.
You, my friend, may have a situation.
Yes. You don't see it, but she never leaves the living room, and she never, ever goes out anymore.
And that plant tastes so good to you. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it makes you throw up.
That's not why. It tastes delicious.
Butter, you want to throw up, don't you?
Stop that.
Stop what?
You're doing something. You're hypnotizing me with your blue Siamese eyes.
No, I'm telling you the truth. You eat that plant and it makes you throw up. You probably have hairballs. Let me look at you.
Look at what?
Peanut motions him to show him his butt.
Uh-huh. Like I thought. You're licking yourself bald down there. You've developed a nervous condition and it causes those hairballs.
Okay, so what? I eat the plant and then I throw up and it feels great. Okay, I love to throw up.
I'm sleeping 24/7 and you're going bonkers over a plant. Something's wrong. But you've got to stop or she'll never go out. She's afraid to leave you alone with that plant. And your problem becomes my problem because if she doesn't go out, we'll never ever get our little Friskies gourmet turkey and giblets again. Oh my God, and my special treats.
Oh yeah, those are good.
They're good.
Yeah, they sound good.
You've been eating my treats.
No idea what you're talking about.
I am 50% purebred Siamese, and I get Fancy Feast gourmet treats to protect my sensitive blue eyes. They're not for you.
I know.
Wake up. You keep eating my treats, and you're heading for bulgy eyes with whitish bags underneath like your TV daddy. Good night now, Butterball.
No, wait, please, Peanut Buddy, you have all the answers. How do we make her go out now?
How do we make her do anything?
We make that sound like we're dying.
So go ahead.
But then she'll come in here.
Yeah, and when she comes in here, I'll stay and distract her, and you can go eat the plant and vomit your brains out. Then tomorrow she'll go out.
You do that for me?
Maybe. If
I give you all my toys. If I let you sleep all day. Okay, I won't eat your treats.
Aha! An admission of guilt.
A phone rings. Mom answers it. She walks to the door of the bedroom and looks at them.
Rand's in the hospital? No, they seem okay. I don't know. They're not eating their food. Buttercup just won't stop eating that plant. And Peanut, he's so sensitive. He's sleeping a lot. Yeah, maybe the same as usual, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I heard about that lion.
She takes a photo of them and texts it, puts the phone back at her ear.
Aren't they beautiful?
She walks out of the room.
What happened to that lion? You think we know him?
I don't know. Uncle Eddie had a relative in the Bronx Zoo.
I have a bad feeling about this.
About us?
About Mom. Stuff is going down. I don't know what exactly, but everything's off. Not normal. What if something happens to her?
Like what?
I think her friends are getting sick. They're going to see doctors and never coming home. Didn't you hear her on the phone? She's upset.
No. Hey, what happens to us if she goes out and doesn't come back?
And what happens to her? I love her. Yeah, I know she's not always the sharpest can opener in the drawer.
Yeah. Remember when she built me that cat tree? Oh, that was stupid.
It was stupid because you're too fat to climb it.
All right. That's enough. Let's go, buddy. I'm going to mess you up.
Give me a second.
Peanut goes to the bedroom door to watch her.
She's putting on her boots.
Finally, she's going to go out. But what if she doesn't come back?
I'm scared.
Her backpack's in here.
Oh, she's coming this way. Assume the position.
They lie on top of each other, pretending to be asleep.
Aw, how are my little boys?
Mother comes over to the bed looking for her backpack. They both purr loudly. She sits and she pets them.
You sweeties, you have no idea what's going on, do you? It's not good out there. People are sick. But it's okay. They say not too many cats have it. And besides, cats have 9 lives, right? I need to go get you guys some food. Yeah, I know you want that gourmet stuff, but I might not be able to find it. I'm so tired. I don't really want to go out there. I guess I'm scared. It'll be okay.
She starts to cry. The cats both pick up their heads, look at each other, and start licking her and each other. Buttercup throws himself across her lap, and Peanut curls up under her arm.
Wow, it's weird. Sometimes I think you guys can understand me. All right, no time like the present.
She puts on her coat and stands up.
Oh, sweetheart, it's going to be okay. Don't cry.
She puts on her gloves and then a mask.
Okay, I won't go out now. We have enough food for another day or two, and I bet you guys will eat that dry food if you get hungry enough. Ugh, I'm so glad my boys are here and that you love each other so much. All right, I'm going to make us something to eat, okay?
She leaves the room.
She's not going out. Good job.
You too.
You'll eat whatever she gives us, right?
No problem. We can't let her go out. We have to take care of her.
Every cat has a job to do.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Boys, come try this food. I put some chicken broth on it and I warmed it up for you.
You like that?
No, but I'm gonna eat it.
Me too.
No, listen. I'll sleep on her stomach tonight. She loves that. She won't move. If you're quiet and quick, You can have a little salad, but don't overdo it. One hairball at a time.
Oh, Peanut, thank you. You're a genius.
I know. How do my eyes look?
Very blue.
They groom each other briefly, then, meowing, they slowly exit. That was Buttercup's Lament by Julie Weinberg, directed by Jeana Magallon. Buttercup was played by Michael Sifuentes, Peanut was played by Trevor Poli, and the cat's mother was played by Chanel Gomaa. Amazing, sensational. Had me cackling with those cat sounds. Thank you all so much for keeping up the steady stream of commentary in the chat. I love this song. Real quick, I'm gonna divert our attention back to our survey link. If you're having a good time, if you're not having a good time, let us know. We're about to drop an anonymous feedback form in the YouTube chat right now. We would love to hear from as many audience members as possible, what you like, what you didn't like, how you think our work fits this platform, what else you want to see, how we can improve, all of it. Just overshare to us. We won't even know who said it. Thank you so much. Let's keep it moving. Up next is The Ark is a Metaphor by Andrea Fleck Clardy, directed by Jeana Magallon. Deborah is going to be played by Denise Marin, and Mary Louise will be played by Zoie Ellis. Characters: Mary Louise, a woman of indeterminate age. Deborah, a woman of about the same age. Lights up on Mary Louise wearing a coat and rubber boots. She is praying. Deborah enters wearing a jacket and sneakers. She watches Mary Louise silently for a moment before she speaks.
Hello there. Are you all right?
Yes, I am.
You can't stay here. You know that, right? You need to move to higher ground.
No, I need to stay exactly where I am.
Why?
Because I was called to this spot.
Who called you here?
The call was spiritual.
You were called to this particular spot.
Yes. Thank you for stopping by.
Look, you did what you were supposed to do. You answered the call by coming to this particular spot, but now you need to go somewhere else.
I appreciate your concern.
You're not leaving.
Nope, I'm not.
You do know the storm is coming.
Yes.
The storm surge will hit right here in something like an hour.
And the water will suddenly rise.
Exactly.
The book of Genesis says the waters rose and increased greatly on the earth.
Yeah, but that's a whole different story. They had no idea what to expect. If people in the book of Genesis had accurate weather forecast, I bet they would have moved out of the way.
Or maybe they would have put their beliefs to the test. Maybe they would have said, my fate is out of my hands. If God loves me, let him save me.
That's asking a lot.
God warned Noah about the flood in advance and showed him how to build a boat.
There you go. That's my point. Once he knew what was coming, Noah didn't wait around to see for himself. He had a job to do. He had a wife and kids, not to mention all those animals.
Then the Bible says the ark floated on the surface of the water.
You got an ark?
No, obviously I don't have an ark.
Right, I see that, obviously.
The ark is a metaphor.
But the water isn't. It's real and cold, and it's moving very quickly in our direction.
So you said.
You should find somewhere else to do your praying.
The tide will eventually turn and flow out.
You sound like my brother.
He's a person of faith?
No, he's a doctor. He says eventually all bleeding stops.
Is that supposed to be funny?
Where you're standing will be under 10 or 12 feet of water before the tide turns around. It's a storm surge, not like a regular tide, and it will come in very quickly, just about an hour from now.
I'm not afraid. I will find something to hold on to or not.
You're not afraid of drowning?
What happens will be what is meant to happen.
You're not afraid of the water sweeping you off your feet.
No.
You're not afraid of seeing the light shining above you where the air is waiting, cool and sweet. But you can't reach it because the surge is turning you over and over. Your lungs are aching for air, but the water is filling you up and holding you down. That doesn't scare you.
Sounds as if it scares you.
Yes, it does. Very much.
I'm afraid of the world holding me down and filling me up so I lose sight of my faith. I see the light and I'm aching for grace, but I can't reach it.
You're dying to reach it.
I trust in the Lord to save me.
Maybe the Lord is trusting you to save yourself. Maybe the Lord assumes you are smart enough to get out of harm's way.
I don't think you understand what belief really means.
Yeah, I do. I just don't believe what you believe. I believe we have pushed nature too far and all hell is breaking loose. I believe we need to keep an eye out for each other.
Whereas I believe God created this beautiful world and guides what happens here.
Can we talk this over somewhere else?
We really have nothing more to say. I'm a competent adult. I'm not asking for your help. If I choose to stay where I am, why is that your problem?
Because there's still time.
You don't even know me.
I'm Deborah Burns.
Mary Louise Gifford.
Nice to meet you, Mary Louise Gifford. Now we know each other. I live in what used to be the Nickerson's place.
Up on the bluff?
Exactly.
Danny Nickerson went to my church before he got cancer.
There you go. So we share a community.
I've been in that house years ago after Danny's wife left him.
Remember the view?
Of course.
Come check it out. You'll see how much of the coast has already been washed away.
I can't just leave.
I'll introduce you to 6 miniature goats and a flock of chickens, but we should go now.
Thank you for stopping by.
Where do you live, Mary Louise?
Down in the cove.
Oh. Did Danny tell you how his great-grandfather built their house on the bluff so he could keep an eye on the bay? He liked to watch catboats sailing in the summer and storms gathering in the winter.
We didn't talk about the view.
I think the Lord would understand if you climb up the hill, maybe have a cup of tea, and then continue your prayers.
I think I'll stay here.
Besides, you can see the cove. You could keep an eye on your house from there.
Great. A ringside seat for catastrophe.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Why would I want to sit on your porch and think about Danny, who had a mean, brutal streak, and watch my little house wash away? No, thank you. I'd rather stand my ground and raise my heart in prayer right here where the Lord led me.
You could die here. You understand that?
Yes, I do. I could die or I could be saved.
Think of my house as an ark.
It isn't an ark. An ark is ordained by God.
I don't know what's ordained by God. I do know, have I mentioned, that a major, unpredictable, atypical storm is about to hit us.
They say that about all the storms these days. Everything is major. Everything is atypical.
That's right. The weather's gone berserk. And when the storm surge roars through the Narrows and reaches the shore, it's going to sweep cars off the highway and knock houses off their foundations.
The Bible says, in his hand is the life of every living thing and the breath of all mankind. That's what I believe. He has his eye on the sparrow.
200 species go extinct every day. 200 species every single day. That's a lot of sparrows slipping between his fingers.
In biblical days, they had floods and plagues and droughts. Nothing has changed. The Lord sends trials to test the faith of his believers.
In biblical days, people were not filling the sea with plastic and fracturing the earth to bleed out gas and oil.
I don't want to hear about it.
That's the problem. Right there. Nobody wants to hear about it. Nobody wants to listen.
And are you listening? Are you really listening to me?
I'm trying.
Hmm.
Mary Louise. It would be easier if we weren't standing smack in the path of destruction. We're chatting on the railroad tracks and I can feel the vibrations of the oncoming train.
Are you familiar with 1 Corinthians?
No.
Whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away.
Knowledge does not vanish away. Maybe the knowers do, but what they know, the facts themselves, those remain.
Now abide 3 things: faith, hope, and love.
Do they always abide?
Always.
Do they abide when water is lurching up through the floorboards and the air is so thick with crap that it hurts to breathe? And when all the innocent creatures, the dolphins and the bees and the cats and the goats and even the children are dying of illnesses never seen here before?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
I've lost my cat.
When?
By the time I decided to leave my house, I had to hurry. I piled books and family photographs up on top of the furniture. I put my sweaters and coats in the garage because it sits higher. And then I couldn't find my cat. I must have let her out when I was moving things around.
They get skittish when the weather turns. You could feel the storm coming as soon as the sun rose this morning.
I searched and searched, and then I finally gave up.
What does your cat look like?
She's calico.
Short hair?
Short-haired and small. She carries her tail high over her back. It makes her look jaunty, but she's shy.
I think your cat is in my barn right now.
I don't believe you. You're saying that, so I'll leave the place where I was called to pray.
I found 2 cats this morning on the road by the big marsh. One is a small calico.
Really?
She let me pick her up. She liked being scratched behind her ears, and her purr is surprisingly loud.
That's Jezebel! Well, you found her!
A sweet little thing.
Oh, she must be starving by now. She's a fussy eater. The only thing she really likes is tuna.
I just gave her dry food.
Yeah, she won't touch dry food.
She ate it right up.
Oh, that's amazing.
What surprised me was that she got along with the other cat. He's an orange tiger, kind of a tough guy with one torn ear. A few hours before I found her. Jezebel was very cautious at first.
Yeah.
And I knew they curled up together to take a nap.
How did you happen to find 2 cats today?
People leave their pets behind when they flee inland. Happens every time, as if house pets could find food and shelter in a storm.
I can't imagine doing that.
But Jezebel is waiting in my barn.
So you said.
Are you going to abandon your jaunty little cat in order to play double dare with God?
You don't understand.
That's true. I don't. What I understand is that my animals are hungry. I have to gather the chickens in. The bread that's rising needs to bake before the power goes off. I need to bring in firewood and fill the bathtub with water. Good luck to you, Mary Louise.
Wait!
No, I need to get home.
Well, take me with you. Maybe I can help. Please, I need to see Jezebel.
Let's go.
They exit together. Blackout. Whoo, that was The Ark is a Metaphor by Andrea Fleck Clardy, directed by Jeana Magallon. Deborah was played by Denise Marin, and Mary Louise was played by Zoie Ellis. Y'all smell that? That was some good cooking. That was sensational. Thank y'all for sticking with us this long. Really appreciate everyone staying around. We made it. We've made it to our final play of the night. Before we commence, I just really want to encourage everyone to stick around for the talk back. It is a very valuable experience for artists, really facilitates growth, and we would love to hear your questions and thoughts. We would love to chat with you about this process. Feel free to continue throwing in some love for our artists, thoughts, feelings, comments, questions. Don't forget about our anonymous survey if you feel so inclined to fill it out. We appreciate you so much for continuing to watch our plays. And now let's wrap it up. Let's finish with a bang. Our final play of the night is Daphne and the Laurel Tree by Jeana Magallon, directed by Anna Maria, and Daphne will be played by Zoie Ellis, and the Tree Woman will be played by Chanel Gomaa. This is dedicated to the memory of Pauline Body and to all the joyful night wanderers. Characters: Daphne, the spirit of a joyful artist who is now a tree. Human woman, a merry wanderer and photographer exploring the forest. The time is the beginning of spring. Grass grows where there once was ice. Flowers bloom where they once died. All through the forest there is newness and rejuvenation, but there are some beings that don't die in the cold, who hold fast and grow deeper, grow taller and fuller. The trees. Projections depict images of trees, very big trees with wide trunks and long branches, their roots warping the ground with their grip. A woman walks out on stage. She feels where she is without really seeing it. She stops in her tracks center stage, planted. A deep breath rushes through her.
Roots. Roots? Plunging deep into soil. Dirt. Ugh. Sometimes wet. Sometimes dry. Always dirt. Worms? Oh, bones. It's a whole new world. Roots where there were once feet. Feet chipped with red nail polish and a callus from those pointy-toed shoes. Oh, where are they now, those fantastic shoes? Those feet. Sometimes soft and sometimes cracked. Always feet. No legs. No legs, toned from long walks, speckled with scars and scabs from dares and clumsiness. A trunk, wide and strong. You know those photos of people hugging trees, but the tree is so big, it takes 3 of them to enclose it in their embrace. I think that that's what it would take for me, for them to embrace me. Me. This is me. No torso, just more trunk. No heart, just bark. No arms, branches everywhere, stretching and reaching for what?
She stretches out her arms around her.
For light? Life? Is anyone going to teach me how to be this? I'm new to photosynthesis. Leaves? Oh, so many leaves. Maybe as many leaves as I used to have hair. Long, dark hair tumbling down my back and running through my fingers. Now leaves. On my branches, connected to my trunk, supported by my roots. The tree. Don't panic. I won't panic. I can figure this out. I can figure this out. I don't have much else to do besides photosynthesize. Do trees have a language? Oh, am I speaking it? Or am I speaking English because, a former woman? Am I speaking at all or just thinking? Do trees talk at all? Do trees think or just feel? If a tree falls down in a forest, but no one's around to hear it, will it even make a sound? Oh God. Am I dead? Is this reincarnation gone wrong? Is some poor tree spirit wandering around in the body of a woman, discovering feet and toes and hair, missing roots and branches, missing photosynthesis, figuring out health insurance? Or maybe this is just what happens when you die. You return to the earth. No, except I didn't die. I think that, I know. But then again, I can't remember the moment before branches and bark.
The sound of a terrier barking, its little paws rushing through the grass. Another woman enters, whistling for her dog and laughing.
Oh, hello!
The other woman scratches the dog, which exists through sound. Takes in the trees, then taking photos on a nice camera.
Can you, by any chance, hear my voice? You see, I used to be like you, then one day I woke up planted. It's quite the mystery.
The other woman takes pictures. The dog barks.
Yeah, so this is why dogs bark at nothing. They can hear tree women.
Tree woman watches human woman.
I don't recognize how you dress. I don't know those shoes, or that bag, or that haircut, or that thing. I know it's a camera, but it looks so gadgety. Nothing I've seen before or saw before with human eyes. I think time must pass differently for a tree. How long have I been here? How long have I been talking, thinking, feeling, whatever I've been doing? Do I laugh or cry? What does that mean for a tree? Oh. Are you sure you can't hear me? Do you know why someone might spontaneously turn into a tree? Is it an epidemic? Beware bad cabbages, now resulting in branches. Or am I just a missing person gone without a trace? Suspected dead, never a tree. I had a little flat on the corner of Diane Street. It was atrocious, but it was mine. Is it still there? I had a friend named Amy. Is she a little old lady on a porch swing now? Oh, could you be her daughter? Her granddaughter? Once Amy and I planned to drive to the beach to catch a meteor shower. Once in a lifetime, the TV said, "Take a nice boy with you," said her mother. "I don't want you two out there alone at night." So we took off alone at night with the radio blasting, and we sang odes to our freedom and watched the sky sparkle. Amy would know what happened to me. Where is she now?
The other woman, human woman, turns to face tree woman. She admires her stretching branches and strong trunk. She goes to her and places a hand on her bark where a heart once was. She looks up past where a face once was, admiring how the sun filters through her leaves. She lifts her camera from her neck and snaps the shot. Tree woman watches her face.
I do recognize this in you. You make things, capture things. Time doesn't change the artist's heart. I made things too. I guess I still make things. I make oxygen now, but I miss my paints, my scissors, my lace. I make pictures like you.
Human woman sits beneath tree woman's shade. She looks at her camera screen, looking through her pictures, relaxing. Tree woman shifts her branches to better accommodate her.
That shabby little flat on Diane Street was where I worked. I could work through the night, just me, the cat, and the canvas. I'd finished speckled with color and glue and smelling like a craft store. Oh, my favorite piece was The one I did with the deep blue background. Not just one shade of deep blue, all the shades of deep blue. I slathered them on. There was a woman at the center, stretched out luxuriously on nothing but the color blue. She was reading Virginia Woolf and completely naked. I cut and pasted the book out of a magazine. All the edgy young artists were doing it. Pop, they called it. I did the same with the flowers that framed the canvas. Oh, I obliterated every gardening book in sight, searching for the perfect garden for my very own goddess. The final touch was gluing pieces of real lace, feathering through her hair for texture. I was proud of that one. I took it to a gallery claiming to want local modern art. He told me it was too obscene. I don't think it was her nakedness that he found problematic, because as I walked out, I was practically surrounded by nothing but naked women. I think it was the book. The fact that I put the two together, that's how I saw things, disgusted him. Boobs and books didn't go together, not in 1964? Yeah, that's it. What is it now? Is it any different? I wonder if anyone ever found that painting and decided it was a masterpiece long after I'd gone tree wall. Oh. Tree. You didn't hear a word of that.
The human woman stirs, collecting her stuff and whistling for the dog.
I know that that's not your fault. Oh, but it makes me want to give you a splinter just so you get something.
There's a low rumble of thunder. The projections change to shades of gray and rain clouds. Human woman snaps a shot and then exits.
Don't go. Don't go. Oh, I know it's going to rain and you don't want to be stuck in it because for some fundamental reason, people aren't allowed to get their clothes wet, but I want to see it. I want to watch you in the rain and remember what that was like. To be a woman out in the pouring rain at night. I was at Amy's. Yeah, we were having a beer on the porch. We were laughing because she wore her skirt backwards to work. We were laughing about the man at the gallery, the man who couldn't handle Virginia Woolf and boobs, and it started to rain. Maybe it was the beer. Maybe it was the courage that comes with being with a good friend on a porch on a Friday night. Maybe it was because I was young and felt somewhere deep down, despite all reason, that I was invincible. I ran out into the rain and I stretched my arms out to catch it all, soaking every inch of myself. My clothes hung like heavy leather. My hair was wild and my makeup just ran like watercolors. I loved the chaos of being a wild woman in the rain. I wanted to paint what that felt like. But did I? No. No, I didn't. The next thing I knew, I was planted in the ground and watching a different woman live a life that could have been mine. Why? Was it something I did? Was I some kind of Icarus? Teetering too close to something? Something wrong enough to strike me out of flesh and bone? It's not fair! I should be home on Diane Street painting the rain in my clothes!
It begins to rain hard. Stretches out her branches where arms used to be. She can still feel the rain. Pours into her, but it brings something else, something new, a memory, a clue. For a moment, all we hear is the sound of pouring rain. Finally,
It happened in the rain. It happened in the rain when I walked back to Diane Street that night.
There's lightning and a terrible scream.
Oh. I was walking home, just a short walk, going to paint tonight. I have to feed the cat. A man across the street, leaning against the wall of a bar. Hey, lady, keep walking, work in the morning. Hey, lady, maybe you'll meet the love of your life tonight. The love of my life is me, pal. Keep walking. Hey, lady, walk faster. Sloshy footsteps across the street. Hey, lady, you shouldn't walk home alone. Is there anyone else around? You're pretty, lady. I'd like to see you not all drenched sometime. Walk faster. A hand grabs my elbow. I'm talking to you and wrenching away, and grabbing and pushing and running. Soft, bare feet on concrete. I lost the pointy shoes in the escape, the chipped red nail polish flashing as we fly.
The sound of feet running on leaves getting closer.
Oh, it's stumbling and crawling on bloody knees and hot, foul breath down my neck. Blazing, hungry eyes that scream. Love for me. Live for me. Exist in the glass casket of my pupils. No! No! No!
Human woman runs out of breath, clothes tattered and bloody, wildly looking behind her. She stumbles forward toward tree woman falling down. She's still planted.
Roots. Roots where you once had feet. Deep roots. Strong trunk. Graceful branches. Leaves of every color. He can't hold in his arms all that you are. Not us.
Stillness, rain fading, images of the forest, trees for miles and miles. Blackout. End of show.
We'd like to invite all the artists to come back and turn their videos on for our talk back.
So everybody take a breath. Breathe
Everyone,
it in.
drop some love in the chat. Drop some love in the chat for what you witnessed tonight.
We can't see the chat.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for sticking with us.
Yeah.
We're gonna get straight into our talk back. I ask that if you're not currently talking, if you go ahead and mute yourself, that would be awesome. Yeah, thank you all for sticking around and watching that wonderful show. Our actors just did a killer job tonight. And man, that was so exciting to watch. So the way we're going to kick this off, I would like all of you watching currently to drop as many questions for us as possible in the chat. We'll be looking at those and to answer those questions throughout this talk back. So please hit us in the chat. There's a little bit of delay between what happens here and on the YouTube. So to sort of fill that time in between us getting your questions and now, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'd like your name, your pronouns, where you're from, and what you do. So I am Logan Butcher. My pronouns are he, him. I am the co-producer here at the Quarantine Series. I'm a director, playwright, dramaturg, and producer in Houston, Texas. And that is all my stuff. How about Madison and then Anna Maria?
Hi, I'm Madison Sutton. My pronouns are she, her. I am a stage manager here in Houston.
I'm Anna Maria. I am one of the co-producers of the Quarantine series, an actor, journalist, editor, writer, and I had the immense pleasure of directing a couple of these plays this week.
Heck yeah. So we'll go Andrea, Chet, and then Zoie.
I'm Andrea Clardy. I'm from Boston, and I'm a playwright, and I've enjoyed this all thoroughly. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Chet.
I am Chet Hertz. I'm up here in Andover, Massachusetts. I'm a playwright and screenwriter, and this has been a terrific week. And I just really, really want to credit the Quarantine series for just stretching the envelope. Really nice work, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Zoie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Zoie Ellis. My pronouns are she, hers. I am an actress at the lovely University of Houston, entering my senior year. And yeah, this is such a wonderful thing. Go Cougs. I'm so grateful for the amazing artists here tonight.
Heck yeah. Now we'll go Julie, Scott, and then Trevor.
Hey guys, Julie Weinberg, she, her, New York City playwright and cat owner.
Writer of Buttercup's Lament. Scott.
Of course, yes.
Hi, I'm Scott. Almost graduate of UH. Here I play Tommy in Logan's and Patron in Chet's.
Heck yeah. Trevor?
My name's Trevor Poli. My pronouns are he, him. I am an actor. Just got done with my junior year today at Valdosta State University, so I'll be a senior pretty soon. Yeah.
Congratulations. I recently got done with my last day of senior year, so here we are. Then now we're gonna go Denise, Jeana, and Muhammad.
Hi, I'm Denise Marin. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be a senior at UH as an acting major. It's just so fun. I'm so grateful. Thanks for inviting me on this.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Jeana?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeana Magallon. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a Houston local actor, director, and writer. And I had the immense pleasure of directing The Ark is a Metaphor and Buttercup's Lament, and I wrote Daphne and the Laurel Tree. Happy to be here.
Queen.
She did all that so masterfully. She did all that so masterfully. Oh my God. Just big props to all of our wonderful team of directors, playwrights, cast. Oh my goodness. I'm Mohammed Khaerisman. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am an actor, poet, and vintage curator in Houston, Texas. I'm also an upcoming senior BFA acting major at the University of Houston. And this was my first time directing through Zoom, or directing since high school. So really freaking incredible, and such a fun, incredible group of people to work with and collaborate with.
You crushed it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, not enough good things can be said about Muhammad. So now we'll go Michael, Chanel, and then Brittney, and then we'll get into our questions.
Hi, I'm Michael Sifuentes. I'm a freshman acting major at the University of Houston, and I am just, I've worked with the Quarantine series before, and I just love everything that you guys do, and this wonderful cast, crew, directors, playwrights, y'all are all amazing. Much love.
Hey, I'm Chanel. I'm a spoken word poet and aspiring playwright, director, and also a teacher in the Orlando, Florida community. And I just want to say thank you to you Houston peeps for adopting me into your community. It's been really cool to make these connections and to work with all of you.
Heck yeah. We're so glad to have you here, Chanel. Brittney.
Hey guys, I'm Brittney. Pronouns she, her. I'm claiming it. So I'm a recent graduate of the University of Houston, turned in my last paper. So I'm assuming I'm done. I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. And last but certainly not least, I believe we have Patrina with us. Patrina, are you with us? Patrina Randolph, the writer of Where the
I'm here. Hi. I'm Patrina Randolph. I am a native Texan and lived in Houston most of my life. And I'm a playwright. Love my family. Got 3 beautiful kids. Got a granddaughter on the way, and just glad to be a part of the quarantine series and what you wonderful young people are doing.
Heck yeah. You know how much I love you, Patrina.
I love you too, Logan.
Okay, well, I'm so glad to get into our questions now. I'm sure we have a lot of talking to do. I could talk to y'all for hours about this. So we're gonna start. I mean, the quarantine series is, our primary mission is to empower playwrights to be getting work done during this pandemic. And so we're going to start with sort of a playwriting focused question. Becca Dominguez, who's also a University of Houston playwright, who we all love, asks, play inspirations from the playwrights. And I do love to hear sort of where new plays come from, whether it was some random thing that happened and you spun it into this experience or what have you, whatever it was that started your play. I don't want to go first. Who would like to tackle that one first? Any of our playwrights give me a hand on the inspiration of your play? How about we go Chet first?
So I was working at a software company, and it was up on about the 7th floor, and I would look across the street, across the train tracks, and there was an office building on the other side, and it had a cafe sort of in the front of it, overlooking the river. And when I was busy, and even when I wasn't, I would look out and think, wonder what they're talking about over there. And that was sort of how we started.
That's the genesis. Awesome. Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes is just, what is going on over there? Like,
yeah,
what could be going on? Andrea? Yeah, you got it. Yeah, she's got it.
So this play was uncharacteristically deliberate. I really wanted to set up a conflict with 2 people who fundamentally disagreed and saw the world differently. And I'm not quite sure how I came up with those 2 women, but then I became so fond of both of them. They just sort of took off from there. But it was the original idea was to get an irreconcilable difference. One person says, I'm staying, the other one says, you're going. And then it kind of evolved from that, which is not my pattern, but that is what happened with this one.
Huh. That's really interesting that you say that, because I feel like my play is sort of genesis from a similar impulse. Yeah, that's really interesting. And just for clarity, Chet wrote A Whole Shaker of Salt with the Barmaid and the Patron, and Andrea wrote The Ark is a Metaphor with Mary Louise Gifford and what's
Deborah
Bird. And what was it? Deborah. That's right. Yes. So who next? Julie, Jeana, Patrina, Julie.
I think the genesis of mine is pretty obvious. Quarantine, cats. I have 1, not 2, but they had to have another cat to talk to.
Right, and we've got your cat just behind you, I think.
Yes, you do.
Yes. So there is the genesis.
There he is. Hi, say hello. He only talks to me.
Gotcha. Oh, that's fair. That's totally fair. Patrina or Jeana? Go ahead. Okay.
For me, this particular play, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, for me, this particular play, I just really was going through a season in my life and wanted to be able to capture some of the heartache and things that I had gone through and really allow it to reflect a greater purpose. And so this play for me represents a lot of personal growth and understanding and stuff. So yeah, that's where my inspiration comes from, just personal experience.
Yeah, it's crazy that you pulled from that personal experience and wrote such like an existentialist and like so widely applicable play to like just life. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Jeana?
Yeah, so kind of going off what Patrina said, I too was going through a season, pun intended, in my life. Yeah, this is a very, this play means a lot to me. One of the initial inspirations was the myth of Daphne. Daphne was a huntress, and Apollo was relentlessly pursuing her, and the gods sort of took mercy on her and turned her into a tree, and Apollo couldn't find her anymore. Just sort of mixed with my own sadness and questions and frustrations about, being a young woman and feeling like you are in that glass casket at times, and your voice is, you have so much life and your voice is sometimes unheard, but then wanting to take that love and that we all have and turn it into, I feel like Daphne reclaims herself through her rebirth as a tree. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think we can knock out another one of our questions that we got right now from you. When did you write this, Jeana?
I actually wrote this about 2 years ago. I am not very prolific, so this is my most recent thing, but so about 2 years ago, I didn't really touch it or look at it again until this last week, and it's been amazing to go through this with you guys, and Anna Maria and Zoie, oh my God, and Chanel, like you guys, like this was a dream team. It really did my heart some good to get to workshop this a bit and play around.
I'm so glad we did it too, because watching it tonight is like, if you're not sure about what Zoom theater can do, I mean, that play, it was so powerful. Holy moly, so good. So I guess that brings it to me, my inspiration for my play. So actually the first draft of this play was about two brothers, and there was a waitress, and she had really big ears. And like Patrina's nodding because she heard this draft, and it was not that good. Yeah, so there was kind of two plays in one where one they were like, this waitress has really big ears. Is she like listening to us? Like, can she hear us? And the other play was their fundamental disagreement about God and where their mother goes when she dies. And so I think I chose the right play to tackle, to nail down on. And like Andrea was saying, that sort of fundamental, irreconcilable difference. I find that one particularly interesting. I know when I told my mom that I am an atheist, she just started crying and asked me, so you just think like Pawpaw is just gone forever? He's just dirt. And that sort of has stuck with me. And so unpacking that sort of really hard conversation was at the heart of my play. And I'm really proud of that little play. Very nice. So yeah, great question. Let's move on. So from Tessa Martinez, this is mainly for our directors, but also for our actors. So I'm going to throw it to the directors first, but if you have a sort of an idea, like don't be afraid to raise your hand. She asks, what did your rehearsals / directing look like? And I think what this is coming from is like, this is on Zoom, and it's, we would assume that it's pretty different from being in a room like we're used to in the theater. So how did you approach directing in Zoom? And how did you approach rehearsing in Zoom through this virtual platform? So yeah, so we'll go, directors, we'll go Anna Maria, Jeana, and then Mohammed. Cool. And then if anybody else has anything for me, just throw me a wave.
I am still but a baby in terms of directing, but the interesting thing about Zoom is that it's a really unique blend of theatrical acting, but it's on film. It's a little bit of both. And so instead of viewing this screen as like a barrier, as something that is limiting, viewing it as something that opens up a lot of options of playing with the off-screen area, of really focusing on the nuance and specificity of seeing the face, of playing with planes this way and this way and this way. There's still so much movement and power that can be conveyed through Zoom, that is unique to Zoom. It's not even film exactly. It's so unique to this platform. But yeah, we had a workshop and we had a rehearsal for each of these plays. And I know what I did is so we had a read through, we unpacked a little bit, and then during our rehearsal we went through and did page by page, and all of these actors here like busted their butts and came through with like so much work done on their own that it was like the easiest, breeziest, most delightful process ever. Yes, shout out the actors who crushed it also.
This team is incredible. Jeana.
Yes, this process has just really been a joy to direct. I feel like I really got to have my cake and eat it too, with both the lovely, lovely text of Andrea's play that I love so much, and then just the incredible humor of Julie's play. Like, that was some really fun Zoom directing with Buttercup and Peanut, like, like playing with, when they look up, like no matter, on the screens, it looks fun, and just playing with how they can, when they go this way, it kind of looks like they're next to each other on the screens, and just sort of playing around. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned with the Zoom directing, and I was already a huge nerd about text work. I love working with text, but I really feel like that's really like the seed of how we got these pieces to where they were, is just, nitty gritty text work. And both of these pieces had incredible text, and the actors had brought so much to the party, and also we were able to dig such intricate moments and really get to know what we were saying, so that we could have really clear storytelling, which I feel like, I know it's a different medium than what we're used to, but the work was echoes of the same, and it's been really lovely.
It's been lovely having you and watching you direct on this platform, because you're so good. Mohammed.
Hey, so as I was approaching this directing process, what really came into my mind was much like poetry, and similar to what Jeana was saying, the importance of the words. I feel like if we take care of the language, the play will take care of itself, because the plays are dope. Like, the playwrights are incredibly intelligent writers, and I think putting that trust from my end as a director, putting that trust that these words are the right words, and to believe in these words, and to find ways to not only emphasize through physical and vocal storytelling and auditory conducting, to emphasize the words themselves and the stories of these characters. And I think for me, because I'm coming from an acting background into directing, my main focus was working with partners, working on how to create moments, playing around with different planes. And honestly, it was just like a really fun experiment, mad laboratory, because I just had incredible actors, I had incredible dialogue, and I was just like, I get to just play now. and it's wonderful from my end. It was just fun from start to finish.
That's great. And like, to see you get a directorial debut here has just been so freaking rewarding and stellar to watch. So welcome. You're going to be doing this for a long time. You're so great at it. So glad that we could do that. Actors, any thoughts on rehearsing over Zoom? So yeah, Zoie, and then we'll go Michael.
Yeah, I feel like at first it's kind of like, this sucks. Acting in theater is just such like a human experience. It's like, how do you have a human experience when I'm standing alone in my room right now? But Logan, I think it was like one of our first rehearsals where you said, usually I try to read the room, and it really hasn't been difficult to read the room. So I feel like artists just in general have the mentality of the show must go on, and if you want to create things, you will create things. And luckily we have like all these amazing people who are super willing to just take it as it comes and like, let's do Zoom, and like doing the process with Denise and everything. We're obviously actors in the same ensemble. And because we already had that shared language and we kind of knew what was up, it didn't really feel any different. And we were texting each other before all this started. And I was like, I feel nervous, like before an opening night or something. And she was like, I do too. So that was a really lovely, just kind of reminder that you can have all these conceptions of what you think theater is, but really theater is just, you know, humans connecting to other stories. And whether that's through a camera or whether it's when we're all back together again on stage, it's going to be beautiful no matter what.
Yes. Yes to that. Michael.
I mean, yes to all that. I mean, there's not much to be said. Yeah, theater is human connection, and to touch on what Anna Maria said at the beginning, you know, yes, it's hard. It's a screen, and there's that spatial barrier. You know, there's that physical barrier. But what I had the most fun with is finding ways where we could add that physicality that just exists shared through the screen that still adds to humor or still adds to drama, regardless of the fact that we're not in the same space. I felt like mentally, me and my castmate, you know, we were on that same mental space. We were bringing what we wanted to bring to make sure that we were bringing these words, these actions, these characters to life. And I'm 100% sure that everyone did the same thing for that.
Bro, your cat's mannerisms, both of y'all, I was living for it. The cat mannerism, so beautiful.
And the screams.
The pan down. Oh my God, that was so fun.
Goodness gracious. Any other actors want to discuss rehearsing over Zoom? Cool. Excellent. So we have another question. So this is sort of a combination question. We got from Alyssa Cuellar, who is awesome. And by the way, if y'all are interested in really cool, dope art being made in Houston locally, check out Says Who Productions. They just released an amazing pilot episode of a web series. Go check them out. It is so good. Says Who Productions. So anyways, Alyssa Cuellar is the head honcho over there. So Alyssa and Zach Howard, who I also love, both are wondering a similar question. So did you adapt these plays for Zoom at all? And if so, how? Was Alyssa's question. And Zach is wondering how many changes came by necessity for Zoom, but then after seeing it, you were like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. And that works really well. I think that there are a few things within that question. Does anybody want to tackle it before I throw out a question? Andrea, I'll just start by saying that we did workshop these plays. So we picked these plays and they're all written to be performed on a stage. None of these plays are designed to be read in Zoom. And that's not really what we're trying to do here is to fully perform a play, but to give a play a workshop production and a reading for the playwrights to continue making work. So in any case, I'll let Andrea go ahead and hit on how she felt about it.
So I didn't write it for Zoom. I wrote it to be done in a theater and actually have thought a lot about movement back and forth and the sort of physical connection. I worried about it, and partly because Denise and Zoie are very gifted, and partly because they were brilliantly directed. They really were. It became about text and about the two separate voices. And I actually came around to thinking that doing it on Zoom worked really well because they are in separate spaces. And the whole play is about how they speak from separate places and don't really connect until the only place that there's a physical movement, as it was brilliantly directed, is the one turn at the end when Deborah starts to go away. So it wasn't conceived that way, but the director and the actors were able to make it work far better, almost to make a virtue of the constraints that the Zoom thing creates.
I'm so glad to hear you say that, because I feel the same exact way about a lot of these productions, that it really does become a virtue to the platform of like, yeah, that's possible.
Right. It helped for me. One more thing, it helped. Jeana was so clear on the primary focus on text that as a playwright, that was very gratifying. And it meant that whatever other constraints there were, the focus was exactly where I would have hoped it would be.
I'm not gonna lie. This whole experience, this whole Zoom experience reminds me of like trapeze work. It's like when you watch people do trapeze or gymnastics or just anything that's just physically mind-boggling, and they're really good at it, it doesn't look like it's very hard for them to do. And so in the same way, in the same flip, to be able to see these actors transition stage knowledge, outdoor, like Shakespeare festival acting and camera acting, and find this middle ground within a live play reading, it's like there was so many pockets tonight in so many different plays and places where I was just like, oh my God, I am forgetting I'm watching a Zoom thing. I am actually like, these are people, like I'm here. Like I feel I'm interrupting. I should take a step back. Like this is intimate. But yes.
Yeah, and if anybody else has a comment, go ahead and flag me. I know for my play, and we discovered this in our rehearsal, where it was like, wow, this feels like they're on a Zoom call, and it so works because and like Andrea's actually, they are constantly in a disconnect, and they are talking from a different place, man. They're at the same table, but they're so far away. And so it just translated so well to this platform. And I was just so impressed by the work that Trevor and Scott were able to do without being in the same room. It's just, they're stellar. Cool. Excellent. So I want to, Chet. Yeah, go ahead, Chet.
I'll just say that I've seen the whole Shaker of Salt now once live on a stage and now with this production in Zoom. And having seen it first live on stage, I said, oh, how is this going to work on Zoom? And that gave me pause, but not enough pause to prevent me from submitting it. And so then when you chose it, right, and what Mohammed and Scott and Brittney did with it is they got so close and they were able to do so much with that. And of course, 15 rows back in the theater, not the case, right? So it's just a different kind of intimacy, right? It's the intimacy of the face and the eyes and the teeth and the nostrils, and right? And instead of the intimacy of playing to the back row.
Right. Julie, did you have any idea of how your play translated to Zoom? What you thought of that?
I was actually very pleasantly surprised, and because I think of this play. This play is very new to me. I just wrote it literally, and then I just rewrote it this week. So I'm still figuring it out, but I think it's a pretty physicalizable play. We got cats, we've got a lot of behavior, right? So the fact that actually was playing, I give my actors incredible credit for that. And Jeana, you had such wonderful ideas for them. Even just the bit of, coming up from under the bed using the camera as the device to do that. I loved that. I thought that worked great. And, all these kinds of things. I just had no idea it could potentially play that well. And frankly, I thought, considering we had one workshop and one rehearsal, we could have done even more given the time to do it, because there clearly was just a font of potential stuff coming up, and we didn't even get to really realize all that. But I was totally thrilled with where we did get with it.
Right. Yeah. No, it is a very quick process to get a workshop in and to get some edits and go ahead. And it is awesome. It is so awesome to see the work these actors are capable of in a week. It is crazy. Patrina, did you have any ideas on how your play translated to Zoom? I know I've seen it on stage before, and it's lovely there.
Oh, I guess because it is so poetic, and heavy on words, it to me, it just was wonderful here. And watching the ladies again, the intimate up close, being able to see their faces and their expressions, and the way that Denise and Brittney both even being moved away from the camera and being brought back to the camera, those things just really were exciting for me. I think that, again, it's like the expectations of what the possibilities are for a platform like this, maybe or downplayed, but it's really an intimate thing, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the effects and everything of it being on stage and all of that, and the lighting, and but here it's just it reminds me of like the radio play, where you really still get to use your imagination,
right?
And it makes you connect in a different way. So
yeah, I'm so glad they all loved it, because I love it too so much. I want to hear from our actors. So I have a question for you lovely actors, and I want to hear from all of you. Normally on a stage, you have an audience. In your room, you don't have an audience. We have an audience on the chat, but you can't really hear their reactions while you're Zooming. So I'm wondering for each of you. So I'll give you 2 questions, and it's up to you to answer. So the first question is, what is it like to not have an audience in these Zoom readings? Because you're used to having those, especially in a scene with a partner. 2, if you don't want to answer that question, your softball question is, what was the hardest thing about rehearsing in Zoom? Or what was like something that surprised you that was really cool and easy about it? So I'll let you percolate. If anybody has an answer to one of those, go ahead, give me a little paw. Just a little paw. I'm gonna hear from all my lovely actors just whenever you're ready. Brittney first.
I'm not gonna lie, I might forget the questions, but I'm gonna answer them.
Okay.
There were a lot.
You get to pick one.
I thought for me the hardest thing, I've watched the quarantine series for like weeks, and all the actors always talk about like missing the feeling the disconnect and thinking that was a challenge. So I was scared coming in, because I was like, I know I'm not going to get the connection that I want. So I was pleasantly surprised with Scott and Denise still having all those moments, which I think is a huge testament to the whole team, the director and the playwrights. I still just felt very connected to my scene partner. So that's just made everything so much better and so much more real and things like that. So that made it all worthwhile. I felt different, but I still felt like I was acting and I was growing as an actor and things like that, which made it all worthwhile.
That's great. I was thinking about that very recently, about the amount of practice that we're able to get done here for our actors in the quarantine series. It's great. Anybody else? Little hand? Well, Denise. Then we'll go Zoie.
For the audience question, I found it really interesting because it almost felt more intimate that there was no audience. It almost felt a little more real, oh, is this really happening? Because usually, you hear the audience laugh or you hear them and it's you kind of get in your head oh, did they like that? Here it was more it's happening. You're in the moment, you're with this person. And I kind of like that.
That's super interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but you're so right. It's and you're just sending it, and receiving it. It's just, that's all there is. It's crazy. Zoie.
Yes, hello. For the audience question, I actually didn't really kind of clock that it felt weird. I think because of the specific training and probably most of the conservatory style programs where you're supposed to be, stretching that imagination as much as you can every day, 5 days a week when you're in class, and there's no audience because it's just your class, So we have a class called ensemble training where that's basically what that is. And you're giving your all 110%, whether there's an audience there, and there never is. So this just kind of felt oh yeah, this is just the mode that you have to be in, which I think if there's anything that Zoom has taught me is that that's better, because sometimes you just get, I can't curse on here, crap audiences. The kids who just come on their phones the whole time or something, and you kind of have to be able to block that out. And going off of what Denise said, it was really lovely to just be oh God, this is just about a story right now. And we're just storytellers, and, we don't have to pretend we don't notice so-and-so on their phone in the back row. It's just us. And if they're watching, they're watching. And if they're not, whatever.
Yeah, totally. That's it right there. No doubt. Because y'all are serving it up. And if they ain't watching, that's their problem. who anybody else? Some pause. I got you. Yeah, Julie, and then we'll go Scott.
Yeah, I hear you from the actor's point of view, but I also don't, because comedy is so reliant upon that relationship with the audience, the rise and fall of their energy. And I mean, so is drama. Don't get me wrong. And mostly what I write is kind of, I guess, dramedy, right? So but I'm really listening to the audience, not so much like what's my score, but just for the connection. And I think as a performer, I am as well when I act. But comedy for me, not kind of rising on that energy of the audience, I miss it. I mean, I was sitting here laughing. Don't worry, you guys, you got me. But it's interesting to deprive all of us of that. It's just a very different experience. That said, there were a lot of other great things about it. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, no, you're totally right. Like, as a comedy writer myself, I hear you. Like, you want those laughs so bad, but what I've sunk into is like those laughs are happening. They're just happening out there in the ether, which is great. So okay, any more hands? I know Chanel. I think you had a hand up. Go ahead.
So I agree with everything that's been said about the audience, the pros and cons. So I'm going to answer number 2. I think for me, the coolest thing about working in Zoom was how much we got to play. Because I feel like with this platform, you know, as actors, we're always told, push yourself, go out of the box. And in Zoom, I think that's even more elevated. Like, what can you do to make this work? What can you do to make a connection? And so getting to work with Jeana and Anna Maria and having them just say, hey, go for it, play, let's see what happens. That was really exciting. And then I think the hardest thing for me personally was, especially with Buttercup and Peanut, like not getting to laugh, not getting to just have those moments where you got to react to them in real time. Because I think when you're trying to make eye contact, you know, you have to stare at the camera and you're not really, like, everything that they did, the little moments and all the physicalities that they gave, I missed a lot of that because I was trying to focus on other things. So I think that would be the hardest thing, is like, how do you react to physicality that you're not looking at because you're looking at a script or you're looking at the camera? I think that would be the hardest part of Zoom for me so far, is just reacting to physicality I'm not seeing. But a cool challenge.
Yeah, no.
Well, like, Chanel straight up, like, not in Texas, and she crushed it from across the country. We got to work with her, and that is the power of Zoom. Chanel, boom. All right.
Yeah, no, that's so interesting, because figuring out that physicality on this platform has been a real interesting challenge. It's been we've been scientifically experimenting with different ways to figure out like how we use this thing. And it's so weird. All right, so I know I have not heard from Trevor and from Scott, I believe. So we're gonna go Trevor, then Scott.
So I was gonna talk, but then Julie kind of said what I was thinking. Like, while it was like super cool and like you could definitely feel the connection, there were still moments where like Julie was saying, in comedy and drama both, when you feel the laughs or you are able to feel the direct tension from the audience, there's just something so calming, in my opinion, about that feeling. And so it kind of like almost raised the stakes, made the stakes higher for me, because I was just like, damn, I don't know, or dang, I don't know anything that's happening right now. So yeah, but Julie said all that. So
yeah, it's so weird. It like leaves you out on this island to like just hope that you're doing it right. And the crazy thing is, like, y'all were killing it like all night. Everybody was truly
killing it.
That energy is so coming through to everyone. I just wish we could get that energy back to y'all. Scott.
Yeah. So I've been on both ends of being a director and being on the acting side, and they're two completely different things of this sort of format. Directing it is honestly way more stressful Like, shout out to all of you directors. Like, you have all of the weight on you. And then being an actor, I got to play a dick for both the things that I was in. And as much as that was hard, it was a lot more fun than I had directing like 5 different people and trying to find all of their different like directions in which they would go. So it's just great. All of the different elements that go into this are just genius.
Also, Scott, your first directing in Zoom was like 5 people. You just went straight into the fire. You didn't even like do like a 2-hander. You were just like, let's do a full length.
Yeah, we just do
You're
it.
crazy.
I said, here's the whole play. I said, okay.
Let's do it. And it went well. So okay. We are coming to the end of our talk back, y'all. And so I want to circle back to our playwrights one last time, especially our outside playwrights. Those new people are Andrea, Chet, and Julie, who we are so happy to be joining us from outside of Texas, our first outside playwrights. We love you. So what I'm going to ask all the playwrights is, what does it mean to you to have your play produced right now while the theaters are closed? And like, yeah, I guess what was that experience like for you here, getting to see your work sort of have this platform? I know that a lot of opportunities of mine as a writer sort of diminished from this thing and were taken away. And so I'm wondering, like, what is it like to get something and to be able to watch your work like this? And then we'll wrap up after we've answered all that. I'm actually gonna skip that because I feel like it's pretty obvious from me. Like, I love this so much, and I'm just gonna leave that as my answer. Then we'll go Patrina, Jeana, and then we'll hear from our lovely outside playwrights, and then we'll wrap it up. So Patrina first, then Jeana. You're muted, Patrina. Yeah, gotcha.
Myself. Yeah, for me, I think that the opportunity to keep growing, to have new experiences is priceless. And, you know, I really didn't even take this time as like, it was just going to be a time off. I don't know. I just have a belief that my purpose is always moving forward, and there will always be opportunities for me to exercise that purpose. And so getting this chance to do this to me is just an answer to those things that I believe, you know. So I just keep looking for those opportunities, and I'm just blessed to be able to do this and to have an opportunity to share, to say, hey, you know, because some of my friends that jumped on tonight, they may have not been able to come to the theater, you know, but now they'll be able to log on even after this and see something, no matter where they are, and I'll be able to share it with maybe a family member that's across the world and hasn't been able to see it. So yeah, purpose is always moving forward, no matter what the situation is. And you know, so I'm just glad to be able to know what my purpose is and walk in that, you know. So I just feel great. And I just love this, and I love people like you all that are so creative to be able to see the other playwrights and stuff. You know, I won't go on and on, but I just enjoyed the work tonight, and all of you artists, I just love it. So thank you.
Heck yeah, thank you, Patrina. Thank you for offering your words to us to have them on this platform. Such an amazing play. Before we get into Jeana, Anna Maria wants to touch on something briefly that Patrina just brought up, which I'm just going to let her speak on that.
Yeah, I won't go on about this as long as I normally do because it is 9:39 Central Time. But Patrina raised a really great point. Something that I really want to take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate is that, like, despite its shortcomings, this Zoom staff is wildly accessible. Humans have been making art for thousands of years, and we've been gatekeeping it for just as long. There are so many barriers to art and theater, especially racial, socioeconomic, physical, for those with disabilities. Straight up, friends have reached out and been like, this is the most involved I've been able to be with playwriting processes and workshops and theater in like a year, in the middle of a quarantine. So it's really important to take a moment to acknowledge that this is not something that has to end post-quarantine. This accessibility, this openness, this ability to have everybody participate in art is just invaluable. And I love it. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. And just to let y'all know, we are continuing this after quarantine. For sure, we are doing virtual play workshops and new play readings because it is a perfect platform for it. So, okay, with that all said and done, Jeana, what you got?
All right. Well, first of all, I'd been lucky enough to direct another piece for the quarantine series before getting to be a playwright, and my love for Logan and Madison and my dear Anna Maria is just immense. And I'm not, I like I said, I'm not as prolific a writer, so it was very surprising not surprising, but it was like kind of like a new thing when Logan reached out to me and was like, hey, like, do you want to let's do one of your pieces. And so I picked one that was really near and dear to my heart. And I knew that, again, my dear Anna Maria would do me justice, and it was going to be a really collaborative process. And I think as someone who is such a word geek, I was like, well, maybe Zoom might be a really good platform for this particular piece because it is all about those words. So I was thrilled at the process and the team, Zoie and Chanel. Like, I just so much love for you guys, and just it was really such a blessing to get to sort of rejuvenate this script a bit, and has really given me some fire to want to go forward. So I really thank you guys for that. It was a joy. It was a pleasure. Trees.
More Jeana Magallon plays. More. So many more.
Please, more Jeana, please. More Kat, more Andrea, more Julie, yo. More Patrina.
So now, I want to hear from Julie, and then Chet, and then Andrea.
Yeah, it's really interesting living in the city of Broadway, right? And seeing that it is likely not to be back for a long time. So that makes you look at alternatives in a whole different way. I was actually saying to somebody today, this makes me wonder if the off Broadway scene will flourish in the absence of the rest, because people crave theater. They crave storytelling, right? And I think this is a wonderful medium for now, but I'm hoping that theater itself has its own kind of revival because of what's going on. That large commercial theater is going to flounder for a while. So maybe we, as smaller theater makers, can flourish in a different way. And I think that would be so freaking fabulous. I was a member of the public theater for a while, and that membership has gotten more and more expensive, and the tickets have gotten more expensive. And I was telling somebody that I had a whole dialogue with the head of membership or something, because I said, no, I'm not going to join again. It's ridiculous. And he wrote me, and we ended up on the phone. I said, look, you call yourselves the public theater? What public you talking about? You're doing all this theater for diverse theater, which is great, but who's coming to see it? A lot of, white rich people. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. So I'm just hoping this pause in life will affect some things positively as well as negatively. I don't want Broadway to go away, but I sure as hell would like off Broadway to resurge. I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think this is, and I also, by the way, I'm very grateful for this week because I wrote that play kind of in the middle of having COVID and just feeling really miserable and trying to give myself a reason to like believe in something, and then you guys liked it. And then it really changed a lot this week, which I love. It was like, deadlines are everything, baby.
Yeah.
Give me a deadline. I flourish under deadline, So that was really helpful. Anyway, I love my actors. You guys, you three were fantastic. And I love my director. She was a jewel. Thank you.
We're so glad that we had you here, Julie. Thank you so much for all the lovely words.
Yeah, sure.
Chet.
Yeah, this isn't going away. All right. This is here to stay. I mean, yeah, hopefully we can get back. I don't know what it's going to look like when we do get back into the theaters, but this isn't going away, and this shouldn't go away for all of the reasons that have been stated so far. Yeah, and as far as how it feels, it's addictive. Really addictive. 2 days before the world effectively shut down, with pandemic, right? I got a call from a guy said, "Hey, we selected your play for a 10-minute festival." It was going to be 2 weekends, 5 performances, right? The most that 2 days later, everything was kaput, right? And then I started hearing about these sorts of things. And I was like, how do I get in? How do I get in? So I very much hope it's here to stay.
Heck yeah. Oh, it totally is, Chet. And send us your work.
I love you, Chet.
We're so glad. And yeah, like what both of y'all are saying, like that it's here to stay, and that it really feels like there's a movement happening right now with the especially smaller theater makers, that the people who really want to be making things right now are, and they're hustling and they're really changing things. And on that note, I'm going to end it with Andrea. How do you feel?
I feel great. I have loved this. Weirdly, I had one previous experience. I had 2 10-minute plays that were supposed to be done in New York City and in something called the Estrogenius Festival. And although it's not all women, it was women started, and when they canceled for COVID, they decided to do it to make Zoom plays out of them. That was my first experience, which was just a month ago, not even, 2 weeks ago. And so I sort of thought that I understood a little bit about what that transition was like, but then I had to rethink it completely when I got to know you folks. And for me, it's impossible to separate out the youth factor, because there was so much good energy, young energy, and so much excitement in this whole process. And that's partly about the technology and about what's been said before, seeing people up close. Partly it's about the fact that so many of you are already very good and loyal friends and colleagues to each other. So it's like being welcomed into a community. And it's a really young community with a lot of energy and a lot of excitement and a lot of technical expertise. Madison had to explain to me many things very quietly, very discreetly, very gently. She would tell me how to move out of gallery view so that I didn't see 117 people around the edges. And that wasn't like a technical problem with the production. It was a technical problem with me. But we got past that. And so it's been a ball. And I love what you're doing, partly because you're very gifted and you're very professional and you're very young. And it's a wonderful marriage between a format that is very intimate and weirdly collegial. So it's been an unmixed blessing. I'm going to send you another play.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for all your lovely words.
Please.
Truly.
My pleasure.
And we are so grateful that y'all were able to join us. And yes, we love to welcome you to our community. Welcome. We love our artists. We love working on new plays.
I was going to say, like, you are absolutely, like, once you are here, you are here. You are part of, this is a family. This is not a cutthroat theater space. This is an uplifting, supportive community where you are cherished.
Good.
Period.
And
Well,
on that note,
Can I ask a question?
Oh, sure.
I know there are some friends of mine who said they couldn't see it. And was it being recorded and could they see it after the fact?
Yes. So
Okay.
we do need to have a brief discussion with all of you lovely playwrights about how you want to handle the recording. But yes, on our YouTube, there will be a recording available. And we can clip out certain plays if y'all don't want it on our page. But we're gonna have those discussions with y'all briefly after we get done. Yeah. But I'll definitely be able to send you at the very least, I'll be able to send you an individual recording of your performance of your play. So for your profile or whatever, your portfolio. So yeah, and so with that familial feel set up, and I think it's a great place to wrap up tonight. So again, thank you all in our YouTube for sticking with us and asking great questions and listening to us talk at you. And thanks again to all of our amazing artists here who just put on an amazing show for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope y'all tune in next Friday. The quarantine series, baby.